Hello, everyone. This is Agile Coach Steve here again. Today, we'll be talking about shortest job first. It is a tool which I use for ruthless prioritization. So, in my last video, we talked about prioritization, why it's critical, and how you should avoid those shadow projects. Now, I want to share this amazing tool with you. Some people call it WizJF. I'll call it either shortest job first or WSJF. So, it's a powerful tool that can help you focus on the work that will make the biggest impact. So, shortest job first is a prioritization method. It helps you evaluate work based on both its value and the effort that it will take. So the idea is relatively simple. So I'll explain it first. It may sound a little complicated, but I'll make it easier when I give you a real world example. You look at the potential value of a task and then divide that by the effort or size of the work. This gives you another score, and the higher the score, the sooner that work should be prioritized. So let's break it down. The first step is to assign a value score to all of your projects. Find the item on the list that you think might provide the least value. And that's a strange place to start, the item with the least value. But what you do is you grab another card or another project and give it a value score relative to the first one. So for example, if you gave the least value card a 1 for a score, then you would give the next item on the list, say it was twice the value of the first bit of work, you'll give that work a 2. This is called relative sizing. If you have 10 projects in front of you, assign a value score to all of them before moving on. I recommend using the Fibonacci sequence or the Fibonacci numbers for scoring. This lets you factor in unknown complexities instead of using a linear scale. Next up, you estimate the size or effort required to complete the work. Use the same system as above, Fibonacci numbers, and use relative sizing. Then finally, you divide the value score for each of the items with its size score, and you get a weighted shortest job first value. Higher scores go to the top of the list, allowing you to tackle the most impactful work first. So let's look at this in the real world. I created a list of items that need to get done this weekend. Then I'm going to give them a value score, then relative size that score. In this example, I gave a value score to setting out the garbage of 2. I then went through the remaining tasks and gave them value scores relative to the value of setting out the garbage. Next up, I went to the relative size column and did the same exercise. I found the smallest item on the list, which also happened to be set out the garbage, and gave it a relative size of 1. Then I compared the remaining items on the list and gave them relative sizes with regard to effort. The final step in this process is just to do some simple math. Divide the relative value by the relative size. It will give you the weighted shortest job first score. When you look at these items, you'll notice that the ones with the higher scores should probably be done first. Those with the highest weighted shortest job first value. What does this mean exactly? Vacuuming the whole house has a weighted shortest job first score of 6.5, the highest number on the list. Maybe you have house guests coming very soon. This tool gave you empirical data that showed you what to work on first with relatively low effort. Using this tool helps teams be more selective and strategic about where to invest their time. Instead of just working on tasks in the order that they appear, you can focus on those that'll move the needle. So in previous videos, I've shown some example questions that might help uncover this need. So when faced with multiple important tasks, how do you choose which one to tackle first? Do you have a way of measuring your project's potential impact versus the cost or the size? Are there high value tasks that often get delayed because they seem too time consuming? How could prioritizing high impact tasks first help you reach your goals faster? By reflecting on these questions, you can start to see where this tool, weighted shortest job first, might help streamline your work and focus your teams on what truly matters. Thank you so much for watching today. In my next fourth and final video, I would like to talk about something that I consider the cornerstone of Agile, building a culture of continuous improvement.